this tweet here is very important. Ask the record label, how much have you spent on me as an artist? Then how much have you made off me as an artist? I got told, and this was a very important quote. By the way, I don't know if you know. I'll come clean now. I think I've told you. I have a deal with that. If when you ask, I know how to, like, Lil Act comes out on my label. I don't know if y'all noticed. I have a deal from a major label. It's a distribution deal. It means I can sign people. I have not signed anyone of note, and shit. If I did, I probably wouldn't tell you until it got to a certain point. But I can tell you right now, which I don't know if I feel like I just told you. Don't believe me. Yeah, I haven't. You know what I mean? Dealing with artists is a fucking mess. I've realized I can't deal with them directly. I would have to hire people to deal with them. But I have a budget from a label. Like, if I want to sign people, but I just don't. You know what I mean? I tried to sign a few artists back in the day. And if you watch the podcast with me and Adam, we talked about that. And if you watch me and No Jumper, I talked about it too. I tried to sign a couple artists. It just, like, I just realized that, artist ego, I just can't even, bro, like, I'm doing too good in the media game for me to deal with a fucking young artist ego to try to please them motherfuckers. And yeah, I still have a budget. I just don't sign nobody. I'm gonna be honest. Will at some point, if I really believe in something, I sign it? Yes. But currently, I tried to sign like 2 or 3 artists. Just was a fucking disaster. I'm good. Now, let me tell you why I'm telling you that. And again, I like to just be honest with y'all. Somebody said, would I sign the Island Boys? I'm going to be honest, I think the Island Boys are signed already, bro. Now, if the Island Boys really wanted to sign me, I would definitely sign them, 100%. But let me tell you this. This is how quick the music game works. By the time, like, I posted the Island Boys as a joke, I got so many people that hit me like, oh shit, who are these? I knew the day after I posted the Island Boys, they probably already had 5 offers. You understand what I mean? The industry is vultures. Trust me. I don't know if it's a fact, but I think the Island Boys are signed already. I'm just telling you how quick the industry works. By the time, it's the same way how NFTs is working these days. Somebody just told me about a coin. They're like, Ak, look at this shit. Look at the growth since last week. And it was some crazy shit. 40,000%. Ak, you have to buy in. They're like, and then everybody does this revisionist history. Ak, if you had put in like 100,000, what's 46,000% of that? You would have been like a billionaire. And I look at them, I'm like, let me tell you this. I'm not going to even invest in this. What? You know what I said to them? A lot of this shit, by the time you heard about it, is too late. Did anybody lose money? Hey, you know how much money I lost on Safe Moon? I don't even want to talk about it. I think I might have lost like 150,000 on Safe Moon. I don't even look at that wallet no more. You know why? Because I believe the hype too fucking late. Oh my God, Safe Moon! I'm like, oh shit! This shit's going to the moon? Nigga, I think I might have threw like $500,000 or $2 million. No, not $500,000. No. Oh, yeah. I might threw $500,000, like 300,000 in there. Let's go! Nigga, the moment I threw that bitch in there, that shit was never the same. You see, I was watching something today. Salute to this dude. I like watching him. His name is Coffee Zilla. I don't really watch YouTubers much unless like it's like podcasts, but this guy's good. And he said something which, it's kind of true. I like poker. I like gambling. If you're at a poker table and you don't know who the fucking sucker is, you are. And that's what's me with Safe Moon. So when I hear about these apps these days, or this is a new coin, everything is pump and dump. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to some crypto shit a little bit, but it's like crypto NFTs, everything is pump and dump. By the time, I usually have a barometer. When a dumb nigga gives me smart advice, that means that advice is no longer valid. By the time a dumb nigga knows, that shit's already expired. Do you understand what I mean? When a rapper starts telling you about some shit in crypto, I'm like, all right, I'm good. That's why I brought up on the podcast is NFT is a scam. I started hearing rappers start calling my phone. I'm like, nigga, you? Nigga, I don't even know if you could do math. You tell me about crypto? Okay, you got it. Anyway, I say that to say, I believe the Island Boys are signed. Again, I won't take credit if they are in terms of me posting them. I posted them as a joke. I ain't gonna lie to you. I posted fake Drake as a joke. And all of a sudden, niggas told me he was taking bookings. I'm like, now, I'm not saying I made for fake Drake, but I'm like, I just thought that shit was funny and shit. Y'all know I fuck with Drake. So I posted fake Drake one time. Now, every night, they send me at least 1,000 clips. They video the nigga all night in the club and they send every clip to me. Every clip. And I'm like, I don't know if I created this or this was a thing. I kid you not. But the Island Boys, I definitely know that they're, like, I was talking to Kodak today, and we'll get to that part too. And I was about to ask Kodak, like, because I seen Kodak on a picture of one, and I'm like, did you sign him? I think them dudes are signed. The point is, a lot of times when I hear about artists in these times, by the time you hear about them, when you think they're independent, they're signed. Remember that.
B-Dubs taps a new keg every 35 seconds. For beer so fresh, it'll make you...
Are you crying?
Nope.
To the greatest of all times, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Anyway, back to the lesson. This isn't about Meek. I have no comment about Meek's situation. I have no comment about Meek's particular contract. But I do want to use this situation to help artists potentially. I'll give you an anecdote that was told to me when I signed a deal that I don't use to potentially acquire artists. And by the way, every label in the game has offered me a deal. Every label. They're like, hey, do you want like a joint venture? Like, they're offering like thousands to millions of dollars. Like, you know what I mean? But like, truth be told, maybe at some point I really get serious with it. And like, I've even said like, from this particular record label I have to deal with, I don't even take money from them. I even told them, I'm like, hey, if I ever do sign somebody, I got like, unless they're asking for like a wild amount of money, I'll need your money. But otherwise, like, as long as you guys could do like some label stuff to help them, I'll sign them with my own money and then I'll come to y'all. And if y'all want to reimburse me, we can. But like, I don't want y'all to give me money because it's a loan. It is a loan, 100%. So I don't take no money from them. But they told me one thing. They said, Ak, this media shit you're doing is great. It's fucking great. We love it. You're the best. You're the top of the game. I said, thank you. I like getting props. But and they were like, yo, you got to sign some artists. So I'm telling them, I'm like, yo, I don't know who, like, there's certain people I like. I don't know if they're signed. I'm like, so like, I'm kind of like talking about some artists with them. And they kind of say to me, they say, yo, and because I bring on some people, I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if they're the one. I don't know if they're this. I don't know if whatever. I'm like, y'all like this guy right here, but he might not have all the things. So like, I don't think he's going to be the guy. They told me one thing right here. And this is, I only told the story just to tell you this one line. And this explains what Meek is saying right here. Why Meek is talking as an artist. Let me read what Meek said. Ask the record label, how much have you spent on me as an artist and how much have you made off me as an artist? I'm about to make my record deal public by Monday. Just let the world see what these people on. The people who I was fucking with, they said to me, Ak, who cares? Because I'm like, yo, I don't want to sign nobody and later they violate me, dissing me like, oh, he didn't do shit. The guy who I signed, I want him to be the guy. They're like, if you have a bunch of just sign them all. I'm like, huh? They said, this is the quote. One successful artist pays for the other 10 failures. Let me say it again. One successful artist pays for the other 10 artists who are failures. Fucked me up. It was like basically, stop trying to think you're about to find the next Drake. Fuck out of here. Sign all these niggas. If one pop off, you'll make enough money that your label is winning. The other 10, you put them as a write-off. And it told me, number one, what Meek is talking about, it said, how much have you spent on me versus what have you made? Meek is considered a success. Think about it. If he's a success, who's the 10 failures the labels finance their career that they're about to use the money made from Meek to pay off? Just think about that. So people be thinking, oh yeah, I'm on a label, like maybe like even if they're thinking the bad concept, be like, yo, well, if it's $100 that come in, they get 60 at worst, right? And I get 40. People want 50-50, or people want like, I get 80, they get 20. People have standard royalty deals. For every dollar that comes in, or let's say $100, you get $12. The label gets, what's that? 88. Let me repeat that again. You get $12. The label gets 88 cents. No. Okay, no, I'm saying dollars. You get $12. The label gets $88. You see why one successful artist pays for the next 10 failures? So when Meek is saying this, I'm like, hey, pray for Meek in a situation. Got nothing to say about that. But for every other artist who's trying to come up in here, don't take a record label if you're not down to accept that. Do not take it. If you're going to be the success, that label's going to take the money that you have succeeded, because they make 10 times what you're going to make, and they're going to use it to invest in other artists. That's how it goes. It is what it is. Then it comes to situations like, who remember when people were kept saying, yo, Future's putting out this many projects to get out of deal with Rocco? Future, like Young Thug, was signed to a bunch of niggas before he got to the label. Sometimes niggas sign multiple contracts that they got to fulfill multiple deals. 300 was trying to hold that with Migos before they got with QC. And QC brought them over to Motown. Young Thug was signed to Gucci. He was signed to some other shit. Yo, Young Thug was signed to like 3 niggas. Like, I don't want to speak on niggas' specific situation because I really don't know each particular person's situation, but it's very important to let y'all know. If Meek is saying this 10 years later, do you think Young Thug is getting paid from his music? Or maybe it explains to you why Young Thug is focusing on his artists, YSL. Do you understand why artists at some point usually say, fuck my career, let me focus on the person I'm going to sign? You're going to get more money from the person you sign than your own shit. You think Rick Ross has gotten more from his music or more from Meek's and MMG? Bibby, most notably, nigga, Bibby said he quit music. Once he got Juice WRLD, he said, peace. I keep telling y'all, whoever y'all think y'all favorite artist is, the nigga who signed him is eating lovely. That's it. Again, I don't know Meek's situation. I don't want to speak on it. But I could give y'all a anecdote that applies to the majority of people in the industry. Look at what Keisha Cole even said. Never received a check from any record label, period. But I thought about that the other day. She says, right, it's nothing wrong with obtaining audit attorneys so that you're aware where every dollar went. Trust me, a lot get lost in the sauce. I'll also say this to many artists. A lot of artists don't realize what they're paying for. If you've been bragging about private jets, I'm telling you, these artists, most of these artists, they're not paying for private jets themselves. The label has a private jet contact. When they go from city to city, they tell a label, they send names. Yo, I got 10 people with me, book them all hotels. I got 10 people with me, get like some Airbnb, blah, 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 blah. The label's going to pay for that. You think this is almost like complimentary. Like, you're not thinking about the money. Like, you're not paying for it out your pocket. But a label's added into a tab. If you look at the label like Amazon, it's in the label's interest to make you not get you out of debt. Remember I told you that. You have leverage with somebody when they're always in debt, when you're financing their career more than they've made. I hope you understand that. You see how, well, they do with the U.S. government, but Jeff Bezos and Amazon, they claim they make no money a year. They don't lose money, but they don't really make money. They don't pay no taxes. They're about break even. But you know they're successful. There's a lot comes with admitting you're actually making a lot of money. Same with the labels. You know what a label does when an artist basically, you have recouped, they offer you more money. Oh, so we gave you $1 million for your first album, and damn, you blew that shit out of the water. Yo, we'll give you 5 right now. What's up? They're going to drown you in debt. The label's job is to drown you in debt. Because let me tell you, and trust me, I've seen every type of record contract. A lot of record contracts state this. Royalty payments, the split on it between the artist and the label is different when the artist is in debt than when the artist has recouped. Let me give you an example. If you have recouped, the split, like, I don't know, never for most artists, but let's just say it's a 50-50. Or let's say it's in your favor. They put it in your contract. It'll be in your contract. If we ever recoup, the royalty payments will be 60-40 or maybe even 70-30. Unheard of, but fine. So you get 70% of every dollar coming in terms of royalties. The label gets 30. Only after you recouped. But before you recouped, you get 30%, the label gets 70. Think about it. Does the label ever want you to get out of debt? Knowing that every money they gave you, they're going to get back anyway. Think about that. Label never wants you out of debt. Somebody said, bruh, you talking a lot of game, be safe. Hey, I'm talking a lot of game. I just want whoever, y'all know, I know y'all do what y'all do with it. So this ain't me. Nobody put this up like I'm talking about like or dissing Meek or nothing like that. It's not that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give y'all some game in terms of, I just seen this shit. Nigga, could you imagine what Republic is probably offering Drake? In terms of like re-up, like advances. If Drake wanted 30, 40 million, they'll give it to him. They got to drown him in debt. Remember for God's Plan, he was like, yo, the label gave me $1 million for the budget. They wanted to put him in debt $1 million for one video. That's what it is. Now, if Drake had said to them, nah, I don't need the milli, fucks up the game. At least for the label. Damn. Whatever the label is offering you as the budget or your advance, they're trying to make sure they're at the end of the day, at least for the next couple of years, they're going to be a little bit underwater. They'll never take a loss. But they never want you to be up. Because when you up, you got too much leverage. Anyway. I'll move on from this. And by the way, without even, because I want to also spill people's personal businesses. YoungBoy is a profitable artist. He don't take money from the label like that. Even though they pay for certain shit. They do. And of course they want to.
Wawa's Maple Harvest handcrafted beverages are back. Good morning start at Wawa.
Wake that ass